everybody, welcome back to the channel. Happy Hump Day Wednesday, the day that you're seeing this. Welcome. I am coming in today with answers to a couple of, not all of, but a couple of the most frequented asked questions that's usually in the comment sections after I've posted. Usually I get these questions after I've posted my haul videos or after I've posted what I've made or something like that. And so I thought I would come in today to answer those questions. So welcome to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for hitting that bell. Thank you so much for those who have had to unsubscribe and resubscribe because of what YouTube is doing these days. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to all those who have been with me for quite some time. Welcome back. Okay, so first let me tell you what I'm wearing, because I always forget. But I am wearing the closet, well now they're known as closet core patterns, the Charlie caftan. And I am wearing my Rebecca Page strappy cami, which is why I like wearing strappy camis for low cut items like this. And just so you all know, this is the shorter version. It's not the maxi version, but it's the version with the tie in the back. And so I have, I've had this for some time and it's nice. I'm glad I did add the ties on it. The first one I made, I didn't add the ties, but I'm glad I added the ties on this one because it allows me to cinch this in as I lose weight, which is another question that I get quite a bit. Stay tuned. At the end of this month, September, I will have a video that will address all of the questions I have received about weight loss and my weight loss journey. So that is coming up, but today let's just jump right in. Couple things. So besides, you know, how I plan my projects, I'll also share with you some fabrics that I'm loving right now or that I'm enjoying working with right now. And some of this kind of depends on the season. So do keep in mind, I am in Texas, in the Houston, Texas area, and so it is still very hot. It's still reaching 90+ degrees, and even when it drops down to the 80s, that's still warm, and it'll be like that for a while, and then eventually get to the 70s. Usually, just for context, when we tend to turn our heat on is probably not until January, February. So we have some time yet with these warmer weather. So some of the fabrics I'm showing you, keep in mind the climate that I'm in. I am from Wisconsin, and so my whole plan and fabrics I would like to work with is dramatically different from when I was in a colder climate. It will probably change more frequently if I was still in Wisconsin, meaning because we would have this various seasons. We would have 0 below weather, a lot of snow, so then I might tend to use other fabrics more than others. Our summers in Wisconsin was not long. They weren't real summers. And then spring and the winters, you know, with climate change, the winters tended to be a little bit longer. Spring, summer will be a blip on the radar. Then you have fall and all of that. So now being in Texas, some of the fabrics and different things I like to work with and the projects that I think about is totally different. So while my focus is usually not on coats, although I do have a plan to make a coat this winter, probably not until January, that's usually not my focus. So let's jump into how I go about planning my projects. So if you all have been watching any length of time on my channel over the past couple months, you know I have shared the Eloquii Sew the Look. There were 7. We went shopping on Eloquii, and I'll put the link up to the video here, but we went shopping on Eloquii. I picked out 7 different looks that I really like. And these are not looks, even when I talk about my mood board, I'll re-stress. The looks that I chose is not something that I made up in my mind, oh, it has to be done by a certain time. Oh, the season has changed, I'm gonna make it. Because quite frankly, everything that I chose in my Sew the Look, and again, you can go back to that video, and I'm just looking at them here. I can wear all of these when it's cooler. I can simply throw cardigans over them, my short sets, well, it's only one short set. I can most certainly keep wearing the jacket and the tank underneath with winter items, maybe jeans or something like that. I can still get away with wearing that stuff. So again, it's all relative as opposed to like the weather. So when I'm planning out my projects, because I have my Eloquii Sew the Look 7 looks, and then I also have, and I did a whole separate video on this, so I won't go into this. I broke this up into 2 different videos where I chose all of the patterns that I'm using to create all of these looks. This is my mood board. And for anybody who, you might be tired of me mentioning this, but my mood board was created over 2 years ago, going on 3 years ago. It was around February 2018, and I created that mood board participating in Roz from So Much Fabric. She owns So Much Fabric, which I've talked about several times on this channel. But at any rate, she hosts in-person classes. They're virtual now, obviously, but back then they were all in person, maybe every other month. And one of those months we had to do a mood board where we put, you know, pretty much what our style, we thought our style aesthetic was, all that different type of stuff. And nothing on that board has changed for me. And you all heard me mention this before. It took me a while to get to the point where I wanted to even attempt to sew things off my mood board, and even step into the whole sew the look with ready to wear fashions as well, because my sewing skills weren't there yet, or I wasn't quite ready, because I didn't understand fit. I didn't understand how to make adjustments. I didn't understand finishing techniques, different things like that. And so now I'm able to, I feel comfortable moving into my mood board items, my sew the look items, because I am more comfortable with fit. I am more comfortable with making adjustments and different things of that nature. So for me, my plans, even how I thought about my projects even a year and a half ago, is different from how I do now, because back then I didn't really know how to go about making these changes. I was one, I've said this before, I used to try to make patterns fit my measurements, meaning grading up a pattern and all this other different stuff. I don't do that anymore. You all know I am against grading up patterns. I'm against it. I'm 100% against it. If a pattern does not, the measurement and the sizing does not come in my measurements, I don't mess with it. Hey, as I lose weight, perhaps I'll go back and revisit that particular project or pattern. But right wherever I am in my journey, in my weight loss journey, are the patterns that I tend to focus on the most. And so I've shared what my go-to plus size pattern companies are. I will leave the link up above if you want to check that out. That will be in the iCard. So some of those 2 companies, which is Cashmere and Rebecca Page, are usually the ones I navigate to. However, what is happening is more companies are coming out with more size inclusive patterns, which is good. And so I'm looking at those as well. So when I'm planning my projects, between what I did this year, because if you follow my channel earlier this year, I believe I said it early this year, I don't do plans videos. So I don't do videos, oh, I'm gonna do this pattern with this fabric and all of that, because my mind changes on a dime. Next thing you know, I would have said that to you in one video. By the end of me recording the video, I would have changed my mind. So for me, it's a fruitless effort for me to go around picking fabrics and stuff, unless the only exception to that is if I am completely locked in on a particular look I want. And so there are some looks that I am locked in, and but there's no need for me to share those because they're far few and in between. And by the time I think about, oh, I can share this, I would have made it by then. So So that's why you don't get plans videos from me. The only plans videos you will get from me is, say, BHM Pattern Designers, which is coming up in February. So get ready for that. I have a plan for that month because it's also my birthday month. So you all know I like to make a birthday outfit. For BHM Pattern Designers, I am promoting various black pattern designers, and so I'm making things with their fabrics, their patterns, putting those together, stuff like that I plan for. And then if I'm doing collaborations or something like that, those obviously are plans. But from month to month, it just changes. It depends on my mood and what I'm feeling. When I do make plan out projects, what I prefer to do, if I'm tracing a pattern, to have it completely traced in advance as much as possible. That doesn't always work, but I will have the pattern traced. I will also have, if I can, have the pattern pieces, after they're traced, the pattern pieces cut out. I try not to cut out fabric, only because I'm too fickle. Again, I'm telling y'all, I will change on a dime, and I will, if I cut out, unless it's something I'm like hardcore, yep, that's what I want for that particular project, you will not find me tracing, cutting out a pattern, and then cutting out all the pattern pieces. Not unless it is, I have made up my mind. And I have had instances where I would, okay, I know I'm doing this top or this or that and other, and I will go ahead and cut it out in advance. But that's very rare. If anything, I have my pattern and my fabric, for the most part, my pattern and my fabric are matched up. What I plan to do with it. And that's makes sense for me, because if I decide to switch it, I don't have to worry about, oh, I've cut the fabric out already. Oh, you know, and then something sitting around. Yeah, I don't like that. So stay tuned for Sunday to kind of expound on that. I am going to share, if you saw my sewing organization video I just posted, thank you all for your lovely compliments and everything on how it looks now. I'm pretty settled where everything is. I will share, there was a bucket, a large bucket, and I did ask in that video if there was anything that you wanted a separate video on. So I will do a separate video to expound on this point I'm talking about now, where I share the fabrics and patterns I have together, so you can at least see, so far as plans, those are things I've pulled from my fabric stash, or that I have fabric that has come in, and I said, yep, I know I want to, at least, my mind hasn't changed as of yet, but I'm pretty confident this pattern, this fabric, boom, I'm gonna make this up, and I just have them stacked up in that bucket. So what I'll do on Sunday, you'll see on Sunday what's in that bucket, what is in my fabric and pattern match bucket. You will see that coming up on Sunday. And so that's pretty much how I plan, and I use that term very loosely, because again, it changes on a dime, and it doesn't take into account patterns that come out that I'm just like, oh no, that hasn't been moved up the queue and I want to make that right away. Like, for example, the closet core patterns, the Elodie dress. I had selected the fabric. I had already, you know, the fabric selected and everything, but then that pattern came out after that, and I was like, oh my gosh, that would be a perfect match, when I was initially thinking to use the fabric for something else. So see, that's the type of thing that I'm talking about. May not be the most for those of you, and I consider myself a planner or organizer. I have spreadsheets for everything from our finances to I even keep a calendar of content I put on YouTube. I'm very organized, but when it comes to something like that, projects and things that I'm working on, I just allow my creativity and to relax on that thing. Having to come up with a solid plan and, oh, this is what I'm gonna make. Why? Life is too short. I'm just gonna run with the punches and see what I'm feeling, what's moving me in that moment. And again, like I said, there are instances where I have fabric and pattern and I know, oh, I want to make that, I want to make that. And so that's what I keep in my bucket, which you'll see on Sunday. So now let's move to the second question I have received, which is, what fabrics do I like to sew with the most? And what fabrics am I enjoying right now? Okay, so when it comes to fabrics I'm enjoying, what I decided to do was actually pull some pieces that I've actually made, so you can see the type of garment that I have made with the particular fabric, or at least it gives you an idea. So if I'm just holding up fabric, you might think, oh, well, what can you make out of that? So I decided to just pull some pieces that I have actually made, some of the fabrics that I'm enjoying working with at the present moment. So in the moment right now, a lot of the fabrics that I am really enjoying working with are, you all know I just talked about this, is the bamboo knit. So far as knits are concerned, I am really loving the feel of the knit, the bamboo knit, as well as the rayon spandex. So let me show you two pieces that actually represent, you know, so you can actually see it in full form, as opposed to guessing what would you make out of it. A couple pieces I have made, as you all know, is the cashmere Saybrook tank. And I absolutely love this fabric. For one, it's very comfortable to wear, as hot as it is outside. And yes, I know this is sleeveless, but it is very comfortable to wear. It doesn't feel clingy. It's not polyester. So it just has a really good handle, really good feel, and sews up very nicely. And what I like, now I have a couple I want to show you. And so I wanted to pull a couple I wanted to show you. So this one, and the quality is just so good. And the thing is, this particular fabric came from Stone Mountain and Daughter. This was part of the fabric we received to do the Saybrook. And so I love the quality of it. I love the movement and drape of it. It's not anything heavy, as you can tell, but I really like the feel of this fabric. And doing things like tanks, you could do a t-shirt, you can even do PJs, loungewear in this type of fabric that I'm enjoying working with. Something else that's very similar, but is this one was more rayon, 95% rayon, 5% spandex. This came from Apple Annie Fabrics. And again, these I don't know if I mentioned it, but both sides of the Saybrook, this bamboo, is the same. It's not white on the other side. The other side is not faded. You can tell what's the right and wrong side, but it's not faded. The stripes, this is weaved into the fabric, which is what I love. Also for this one, it's weaved into the fabric. So the wrong side of the fabric, here's the right side, here's the wrong side. So those stripes are weaved in. And so it's a really nice fabric. And when I tell you this is so comfortable to wear, I've worn, you all know I've worn this skirt. This is part of my Sew the Look. But it's just comfortable, and it's free flowing. What I have noticed with this, it does not grow. So there are some knits that will grow in time. And because I've had a few knits that have grown, and I've had to, and they were dresses, and I've had to keep cutting the dress because it was just getting longer and longer and longer. This has not grown at all, and so, which I am absolutely loving. But, and again, not all knits, even if depending on the description, if the description is similar, they're not, you know, they're not all the same. They may not all play the same. So that's one thing you want to consider. The other fabrics, you know, that I'm enjoying working with are from You Fine Fibers. And so I had made the True Bias. This is the Ogden Cami. This is a viscose linen noil. And I absolutely love this. Look at the texture. I'll try to hold it up so you can see. But I just love the texture. Look at that weave in there. And it is very comfortable to wear. It's not heavy. This is not a heavy knit. This is more, I would say, lightweight. I consider this a more of a lightweight knit. And so, not knit, linen. And so I really enjoy working with this. I definitely, you all know I said I wanted to order more of that. The other one, which was new to me from You Fine Fibers, is the sand washed rayon. Remember, I made my what is this, the Nullarbor cami dress. This is the dress I made out of this, and this was so nice to sew with, so nice to sew with. And for me, I think I mentioned this in my review video, what I would prefer for this sand washed rayon is to apply steam to knock out the wrinkles, as opposed to ironing it. Because even though I have organza to protect, I have iron protector, I have all of that, but even with that, I feel like steaming the wrinkles to knock out the wrinkles will be better than pressing or ironing it. And so yeah, I absolutely love this, and I want more of this. These, so far, everything I'm showing you for me will, actually everything I'm showing you today will transition into cooler months for me in Texas. So yeah, only thing I would need to do for some of these that I will wear if it's cooler out is put a cardigan over it or something like that, just to have an extra layer. But I'm loving, loving, loving the sand washed rayon. The other fabric I'm loving too is, and I've been loving this for quite some time, but it's the rayon challis. This is the what is this, the Same Work Clark tank. And so I made that out of this, the drape of it. And this one is from Minerva, and they call it viscose. I think of viscose challis. It's the same thing. But anyway, the drape, everything is just, I just love the drape. I love the movement. Here's a top. This one is going to be a dress. Absolutely love the movement of it. And I think that type of fabric, for me, I enjoy, like I said, making tops, making dresses out of them. For me, I don't know that I would just make a skirt. For rayon challis, so far, I'm loving using that fabric just to make tops or dresses out of. And I have this beautiful one that I have been sitting on from from So Much Fabric for quite some time, and I think I've decided I know what I'm gonna do with it. But this is another one, just beautiful. The drape on it, this is going to be a dress. And so I just love the drape, the movement. But again, it's not something, to this day, I have not made a skirt out of rayon challis or pants. It's possible, but I think I like the fact that a dress or a top will still move freely on me. So if I did a skirt would actually be beautiful. But I think I just prefer a dress. I just think, and I wouldn't necessarily do pants. Maybe just, who knows, never say never. I don't know. That's my preference for rayon challis. Another fabric I enjoy working with is stretch cotton. This is a stretch cotton. This was actually gifted to me by Andrea from Sew to Fit. This is the Style So Me, what is it? Okay, I had to look it up on my phone. It's the Style So Me Breed dress. And so absolutely love this. But this is made with a stretch cotton. So that is a woven pattern, but I did use a stretch cotton. It doesn't have a lot, like a ton of stretch, but it has enough where this worked out very well. So I do like stretch cottons for dresses. I will also use a stretch cotton for a skirt. So that would be really nice. Say like a pleated skirt, flat front, elasticated back maybe, with some ties. But yeah, love stretch cotton. You can use it for quite a bit. The next thing I absolutely love working with is, even though I haven't shown a lot of it on my channel as of late, but it'll be coming up, is denim. And I tend to like, this is the denim I just showed in my haul. But let me just show you the type of denim. This is a dark indigo. If I work with denim, 9 times out of 10, I want a dark denim. I just like dark denim. Not necessarily black, but I like the dark indigo. I do love, love, love that look. I do have one that's a black, but it's more of a lighter black. But my preference is indigo for sure. Absolutely love that type of denim. And this particular denim is non-stretch, and so I do like working with either the denim that has about 5% stretch. So like the Cashmere and Ames jeans, I believe that requires about 5% stretch. Maybe some of your other jean patterns out there require a certain amount of stretch. So yeah, I do like working with denims that do have some stretch, but I also like working with denims that have no stretch in them. The last fabric I want to share that I enjoy working with is twill, cotton twill. Now, you know, I just hauled this, and you'll see the look for this coming up soon, but I just hauled this twill. This came from also from Nick of Time Fabrics, but I love twill. So when we're talking about moving into cooler months, that I won't say that would be the heaviest I would work with, but it's close to what might be the heaviest. So I'm not at this moment. You might ask, well, what is the heaviest you might look for? Is it a wool? Is it some kind of bottom weight? It might be a bottom weight fabric, but for the most part, I don't bother with those too much. This might be the heaviest I get, only because our winter start and then it's gone in a flash. So I wouldn't get much wear out of something like that, but something like this, and what I would tend to make with it, which I won't say what this will be, you'll just have to wait and see, but it's something that is very interchangeable, and I don't have to worry about, oh, now the winter's passed, I can't wear it anymore, or something like that. The other thing that I have made with cotton twill is my cashmere jacket, the trench, the Chilton trench. You all know I made this, it's going on 2 years, is it 2 years ago now, almost? But again, that same nice weave. This fabric came from fabric.com. This came from fabric.com. Even my lining is a Bimberg lining, which is awesome for lining coats and things, Bimberg. But anyway, so I made my Chilton trench out of this, and this, I'm able to get away with wearing this right before it starts getting really hot. Like, this is an all year round jacket, except for one in the summers here. When it starts getting hot, yeah, this goes away for quite a few months. But other than that, then if it's a chill out or something like that, I can throw this on, and this would be kind of sort of a winter coat, but not really. The coat I'm planning on making this year, or probably January, is just a little bit thicker, not by much, but a little bit thicker. I'm looking into to have something just a little bit, just a smidget heavier. But yes, I enjoy working with cotton twills. So I know this was a little bit of a long video, but thank you so much for tuning in. I hope I answered your questions and went into enough detail. I hope showing the actual garments helped you visualize with the type of fabrics I enjoy working with, what you can make with it as a starting point, as a jumping off pad. By all means, you can make whatever you want with your fabrics, right? But for those who have asked the types of things, the fabrics I like and the types of things I like to make with them, that is the roundup right now. And do keep in mind, fabrics I'm enjoying working with, that can change in a couple months. That can change. By this time next year, I might be singing a whole new tune. Who knows? But as of now and as of late, over the past few months and going forward, these are the fabrics that I'm enjoying working with. So I hope that answered your question. If you did not subscribe, have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Please consider thumbsing up the video and sharing it out. And yeah, so stay tuned for Sunday. We're going to go through and see what I have in my fabric and pattern bin. And yeah, I'll show that to you. But if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. And we will see you on Sunday. Bye.